Alright, here we go. Tiger Style from Interborough Spirits and Ales. This is a double IPA. Got that kind of tiger stripe going on. It's probably because of the old Tiger King Netflix show. I saw a couple breweries do some Tiger King inspired stuff. This brewery is out of New York. Looks like we got 8% alcohol in this double IPA. Let's see, does it have any notes here? No, it's all up to us. So we're going to give it, I don't know if you know this about hazy IPAs, but some of them have a lot of sediment. So I usually give it a nice roll to get that sediment off the bottom. And then I crack it. Just so you know. And if you ever see like the dead yeast, which just looks like floaties in your beer, don't worry about it. It's just protein. See some people who are like, oh fuck, that must have went bad. No, it's just the yeast cells ate up all the sugar that it possibly could, then they died. So that's all you're seeing. It's just dead yeast cells. That means they did the maximum that they could do and they died. Yeast is basically the bacteria that turns sugar into alcohol. That's all you gotta worry about. Alright, what are we using? We got the bowl loaded up, the Lancaster bowl. Lancaster drop is coming, fellas. Saturday the 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, I saw a bowl in the mix. A very nice looking bowl. And I don't know if it's the one and only bowl, but I saw a very nice bowl in the mix. So, food for thought. Be there or be square. We are using Talbot Shaving, Cole's Pond, my one and only Talbot soap, and the one and only soap from Talbot that I regret not going after. This was one of those soaps where I understand kind of where Ken from Shave 326 was talking about that soaps kind of have jet lag when they're coming in from the mail and they're sitting in a hot mailbox for hours on end, and they just need time to acclimate to your house's conditions. And when I first smelt this, I was like, I'm not getting much of anything. Scent strength, maybe 2. Just slightly green, like fur. Now that I've gave it like 2 days, it's significantly stronger. It's probably a 4.5 out of 5, if not a 5, maybe once lathered. And it's a really great kind of like natural green scent. You can smell the pine and the fir and the balsam and the camphor. Almost like a Christmas tree, like a pine tree, you know, before all the riffraff gets thrown on it, just the tree. It smells like you're in the forest, like surrounded by these pine trees. Maybe not snow on the ground. I was kind of expecting like the balsam and the camphor to kind of create like a chilly vibe, but it didn't really happen. It just smells like natural green, and I really like it. We're using the Alpha Shaving Company Outlaw with the silver synthetic on top. I'm just going to dunk it in some distilled water. We're going to be using the fresh feather blade there in the Christopher Bradley closed comb or standard bar B plate. That stainless steel Karve. Just get that out of there. And we got the matching aftershave splash. It's funny because I don't go on BSTs very often. I rarely even get on Facebook very often. But I'm part of the Wet Shaving Enablers group that I recently found out Chris from IAMCDB actually made. I didn't know that. So we got to load it up in here. Got the standard bar base plate, the B plate with a fresh feather blade there. There's that. And I rarely get on the BSTs, and I did. And somebody was selling, like, you know, doing a little den clearing. I saw this on there, and to my surprise, it was still there. And I jumped on that shit. Shot a PM, shot a private message to the seller, and I said, hey, Cold Spawn, you still got it? I'm interested. He said, yeah, it's still there. I said, how do I pay you? How do I pay you? PayPal, Venmo? Do you have something set up through like a Facebook shop? And he sent me his info, and I got him paid instantly because I just didn't know. To me, this is one that I have been looking for pretty lazily, so I'm kind of shocked that the hunt was actually successful, because I wasn't like actively, you know, surfing for it. I just came across it and I was like, holy shit. It was one of those ones where I kind of figured I'd never get it, and like I said, I wasn't really trying that hard either. But I guess I just got lucky. And I'm happy that I like it, because that initial impressions, while it still had that kind of mailbox funk, I was kind of like, this is very Laster Lux, like my wife calls it. Instead of Luck Laster, she calls it a Laster Lux. I don't know if you have family members or friends that kind of fuck up everyday sayings, but she's one of them that it happens somewhat frequently, and I get a kick out of it. Alright. So let's get some water on the face, we'll get some lather on the face. It's been a stressful day, sort of. I don't really stress much, but sometimes it hits you like a fucking ton of bricks and you can't really escape it. And there will be time to share what I'm stressing about. I'm pretty positive it'll come soon. So I'm just gonna try to stay positive for now. So let's focus on the shave. So this feels great so far. I mean, the knot in this brush I feel like has the potential to be great, but it was set too low. It's I feel like it has soft tips, but it was set too low that it's like mega backbone, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not, that backbone's not necessary. And you gotta really, like, you know, assert some force to get it to splay. And it's kind of a turn off. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I just painted a little bit more water in. It felt a little bit thick still. Maybe a little bit more on the cheeks as well. Oh yeah. Yeah, and this stuff is definitely coming alive. It just smells like you know, like fresh trees, like if you're standing amongst the pine and amongst the forest and everything's just alive and fragrant. I'm really liking this soap. I think it is kind of like medium-high density here. Here we go with the Karve with the feather. It's kind of medium-high density. I can feel it, nice low structure. Never used Talbot before, so this is kind of a first impressions, which I know people last week, I think. We're kind of asking, are first impression videos really worth a damn? And I think they are, but I mean, obviously others are questioning if they're worth anything. I think the real question is if your opinion's going to change once you get familiar with the product. What's the point of going out, saying your initial impressions, and then immediately like revoking them and going back on them once you've become familiar with the base? And I suppose if you were one of those shavers or hobbyists that, you know, kind of get into the more in-depth scientific approach, you might understand that, like, yeah, you need to do, you know, study, and then release, you know, a compiled report of the results. But if you're just doing it for fun, and you're approaching it like maybe the average hobbyist, it's kind of like, I'm showing you the exact same shit that you're gonna do. You know what I mean? New soap in the mail. I want to use it immediately. I want to share my thoughts. I think it might not have value as far as maybe product research, but if you're watching the videos for the personality and you're watching these shave videos for like the entertainment or enjoyment and not so much the product reviews, maybe the product reviews are kind of secondary, they're a little bonus to the personality and the community aspect, then yeah, the first impression video still has value. You know what I mean? It might be to a lesser extent than like a full-on review that's been, you know, really well thought out. But I think they still have value. That's just my 2 cents. I do not approach my channel in a scientific fashion. You almost never hear me say what I think is the best, other than like, you know, my personal favorite racer or shit like that, which is the Schick Golden 500, if you were wondering. Schick injector. But yeah, you don't hear me doing that because I don't approach it that way. I just do this shit for fun, you know. I don't approach it in a scientific manner. I have my feelings, like, you know, I have feelings of what I think is the best, but I don't approach it scientifically. I'm not breaking it down. I'm not doing comparisons. It's like one first impression after another, and I'm trying to vaguely remember what I thought was good and what I thought wasn't. Holy shit, this stuff on the bottom of the bowl is pasty as fuck. I might as well have just started over. It can take some water. I don't think it's the thirstiest, but I think it could definitely take some water. And I did like that lather that I had on that first pass. Go ahead and paint some in. It just smells great. It might, actually, I'm fairly certain it came more alive once lathered. Because I was saying it was a 4.5 to 5 out of 10. Now I'm kind of leaning more towards, you know, this is like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. It came alive on me, guys, which I'm very pleased about because, you know, I like the scents bold. That's good enough anyways. The feather with the B plate feels very smooth. I'm pretty sure any fucking blade or a rusty nail would feel smooth in the B plate from the Karve. This is the stainless steel. I guess another thing is the drama and the community that I've been hearing about against my will. If you're not prepared to hear my opinion, and you know, if you approach me because you think I'm on your side, like, be prepared for anything. But if you're not prepared to hear my opinion, don't ask me. And really, for a further part, don't really bring the BS to my doorstep. I don't want no part of it. You're never gonna pit me against my friends. And my friends, if I feel like they're fucking up, I would say something to them. So that was just a quick little detour. Not that anything has happened, but that's a warning. I keep it real with my friends, and you best believe I'm gonna keep it real with people that aren't my friends. So just don't bring the BS to my door. And if you do, be prepared. Alright. Talbot, good shit. My first impression is that it's good shit. I enjoyed the lather that it created. I enjoyed this kind of natural, like, pine, fir, kind of like evergreen scent. Probably because I live in the evergreen state, Washington State. So I'm familiar with this scent. When I'm up in the woods, I smell this. So I really like it. I think it's a fantastic soap base. It's another one of those ones where it's like, this is in their current soap base, but they're moving on to the next version. And you kind of think to yourself, is that really necessary? This shit pretty good, you know what I mean? But I'm happy I got it. I was always envious of the folks that had it. You know what's funny is when Mammoth was first out and they were like really the rage, really. I mean, I guess they haven't really fell off, to be honest. But they were doing a Talbot and Mammoth same day released, West Coast Shaving, Cole's Pond, and something else from Mammoth. And I got like the first 5-6 Mammoth releases. And I liked about half of what I got. The soap base is good, it's fine. I always thought it was good. But the scents were really hit and miss for me. And they would sound great. Like, I think whoever was writing up the descriptions was a good writer. They probably had a previous gig at like Food Magazine or something. Because, or Tavor. If you guys are familiar with the beer app Tavor. It'll make you buy some fucking shit that sucks. The way that they write up a description. But, I didn't think any of Mammoth's scents sucked. It's just they weren't for me. They weren't impressive to me. personally. And it was about hit or miss. And when I really wanted Cole's Pond, but in my brain, I was like, these are so popular, they're going to sell out so fast. I have to decide one out of the two that I want, you know. That's just the way, that's just the facts, you know. I have 10 seconds to get it in my cart and checked out, which is easily doable for me. I'm very successful on stuff that I want. But I picked the Mammoth release and I got it, and I was very disappointed, and I always felt like I should have chose Cole's Pond. I'm just happy it's in my den now. And that's not a dig on Mammoth, because scent is subjective. And I have 3 Mammoth soaps that I really like, so. But that's just the way it is, you know, that's just my experience there. So, let's get the aftershave here. Nice little bottle. Kind of basic bitch bottle. You've seen this style before. Has nice little side labeling there. And again right there, you can see the ingredients maybe. So, alcohol, it is an alcohol splash, witch hazel, perfume, antolin, DL-panthenol, silk amino acids, something, vegetable glycerin, tea tree oil, aloe vera. So not a basic bitch aftershave, but not super fancy either. It's got some stuff in it, so that's good. Let's get some of this on here, see how this performs. Let's feel that feather burn, baby. There's a nice, even tingle. Not a crazy burn, but a nice, mild, well, not mild. There's a nice, medium tingle. So, that's that feather for you, baby. You know it's close. And I'm BBS, like even with that B plate, nice, sharp, fresh blade. It's fantastic. And the aftershave is one of those ones. One of those ones that's like even brighter. The scent is kicking. It's bold. I wonder how long it's gonna last. Try to get some of that residual on the beard hairs. Get some of that savor flavor, you know what I'm saying? Flavor savor. Or savor the flavor, whatever. Yeah, that's great. That is fantastic. Even more vibrant in the aftershave. Gotta love it. Alright. Talbot, Cole's Pond. Happy to finally have it. Happy that I actually like it. Always a pleasure using the Karve stainless steel. Got the blade tabs out, baby. Tabs out. With the feather blade there. Tabs out. Kind of lost my train of thought. I was like, yeah, tabs out. That's sexy. There's the paste on the bottom. I probably could have made a whole nother lather with what's left over. Don't miss out on that Lancaster drop if you've been waiting. Be there. Crawl into the bathroom. Make that purchase while you're faking a shit. I got the Alpha shaving brush, the Alpha Outlaw with the very lowly set silver synthetic on top. And I actually got a red Alpha on the way. I want to get another hand-tied knot put in it, but it's somewhere in customs. It's been like that for like 2 months. Alright, back where we started. Beer. Cheers. Stop beeping.